I don't know how they're so happy after that episode that we just watched.
I am sad. I just had to
We're very sad.
bring
These
back
two
some...
are just trying to be the light right now, and there's way too much darkness surrounding this. I was tempted to not come on the show tonight. Guys, welcome to Legends of Tomorrow After Show here at thestream.tv. It's the episode before the finale, and bloody hell. That was an episode and a half. That really made up for just the whole 14 episodes we've seen. Episode 15, I don't know how they're going to top that for episode 16.
I don't know what they're going to do.
I have absolutely no idea. But guys, our overview for that episode is destiny is always what we make it. Apparently so, anyways, according to the Oculus and the Time Masters and the Time Council and people playing us like puppets. That's pretty much the way the world works. We are all getting played by puppets.
Not me.
Played by puppets.
There are
played
no
like
strings on me.
No, what is that?
Pinocchio.
Oh,
Hello.
miles away there, aren't I? My apologies. Right, guys, let's jump right into... Well, before I jump right into this, let me introduce my lovely co-hosts, of course. To my right, Tatiana, and to my right is Mr. Rory. Guys, how do you like the new set, of course, as well? Hopefully you've seen it in Flash, you've seen it in our hour after show as well. But isn't it delicious? Isn't it lovely? I've got the TV
it's very
here.
homey.
We have to start doing stuff with this TV
This is homely,
soon.
the brick wall.
This is homely?
Well,
yeah, I feel...
yeah.
So we've actually said that. Guys, do you feel like this is more casual for you? Like, do you like this? A lot of people have been saying that. It's a lot more homely, it's a lot more talkable to each other.
Look how big of my cushion is. Like, look at this.
You're not going to move over all the time now.
I can just like, get over here and over here. It's really
Right,
nice.
let's start this off by ripping apart the Time Masters, okay? The Time Masters, the Puppet Masters, I'm going to call them. Forget it, they don't even deserve to be called the Time Masters anymore. Time Master Juice.
Right.
Well, first things first, if you're West Coasters, you haven't seen this episode yet, there's going to be tons of spoilers, so be careful. If I were you, I'd watch it later instead of watching it live, just because we obviously don't want to ruin it. But Time Master Juice, thank God he's dead, okay? Thank God you are dead. Spoiler alert. Finally. Didn't trust you from the beginning, and now I'm glad that you're dead. But let's talk about this, because this is everything that's... This has just wrapped up our whole season almost to a point.
Pretty much.
Everything that we've been questioning, everything that we've been wondering, and everything that we've been worrying about got laid out on the table for us. So the Oculus. Let's get into the Oculus first. Did anyone see this coming?
No.
Like a main point of
I always
call?
wondered how Gideon knew all the information, because she was always saying, like, the time stream hasn't been affected. Like, where are you getting this information, Gideon? Like, how do you know this? I mean, you're an AI and you know a lot of things, but where is it coming from? Where's your source? And to see this come to full front, and then
The
to get
Oculus
that
is like the
revelation-
brain for the Godfrieds and what's it, the
For all the
Gideons
different,
and stuff
all the
like
different
that.
AIs, this is where they're getting their information, and to see that come and be like, this is how big and impactful it's been, and to find out like the Time Masters are the master puppets of like everything that's been going on, like what?
You could kind of see that. You could kind of foresee that the Time Masters were the puppets, I think.
Right.
No, they were the puppeteers.
They were the
Well,
puppets,
the
yeah.
puppeteers, yeah.
They were puppeteers,
You could
but like
kind of see that.
You did? I had no idea.
I mean, like I had a feeling, you know. It's just.
well,
one of those...
I mean, we like they're Time Masters, so of course they automatically, their knowledge of time, it's there, and we're like, okay, we knew they had some effect with that, of course, but
They see
to
everything.
realize that they've been pushing Rip the whole time, he thought he was a master of his own destiny.
Never.
He wasn't. Like, they knew he was going to get angry. They knew. And then
orchestrated
on top of
everything.
that, to make him angry, they're like, we're going to send Vandal and kill your family because
No,
we know
that
this is
wasn't-
what's going to be your motivation for the whole
And
thing.
that's low. Like,
wow.
that's lower than low.
That's such a low blow.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
are going to
big
go
time.
and kill your family so that you pick up the motivation and you pick up the need to do what we want you to do.
That's
Right.
like.
It's like,
This just
That's
this legend
extremely
just took a
thought
real
out.
dark turn.
It did.
Like this
Big time.
whole episode, I was like,
It did.
this is some heavy shit.
But but because they see no time, there's nothing applies to them. There's really, it kind of takes the emotion out of everything.
Yeah, they don't feel
You're talking about for the
anything.
Time Masters.
The Time
Yeah, the
Masters.
Time Masters
Well, because they're
themselves,
sitting
they
in
don't
vanishing
care.
point and just being like,
Well, they don't have
we don't-
families. They don't. Time is not on their side. So there's no families. There's no loved ones. There's
So
no
then
love. I'm
here's a
assuming-
question. Are the Time Masters like a supernatural beings? Or are
Do they age?
Yeah, do they age?
well, in the vanishing
what is going,
point-
who put them there? Like, how did they get
How did they get there
established?
originally? How
Did
did
they
the
take
High
over,
Council come
someone
around?
else's position, and
I
then we're
think
like,
it was
we're
like,
the leaders?
I think it
I
was like
agree.
slowly ordained.
But
Who was
ordained them?
numero uno?
I mean, well, that's like
Where did
that's
it-
like
That's
where did
really-
God come
Was it?
from?
Was
Okay,
it?
you know,
Well,
like,
but that's different because I'm not going to say it.
I
Because
opened
they're
it.
actually, like, we get to speak to them is what I'm trying to say in the nicest way possible.
Right.
But what I want to say is I agree with you. Did the Time Masters come from the future? Did the Time Masters, were they formed in the past? Or are they somebody that, like, I agree with you. What made the Time Masters come to fruition, guys? How did the High Council come about? Please feel free to let us know. You guys know how to get in touch with us. You use the hashtag.
There we go.
Got Lotus, guys. You got us on Twitter, you got us on the Facebook, you got us on YouTube chat right now. I'm going to say one last thing, not besides about the Thanagarians. The Thanagarians. What was the planet called? Thanagar?
Thanagar.
Thanagar. And you mentioned Rory Thanagar was?
Yeah, so Thanagar, if you guys watched Justice League, that is where originally Hawkgirl's from. And I didn't watch a lot of Justice League. I've watched like up to season 1 where I actually saw Vandal Savage. He comes in episode 19. But anyway, that's where Hawkgirl comes from. The nth metal is like what the wings, I guess, are made out of. And my theory is that whole nth metal, if they bring it into the show, is what is the composition of the asteroid or the meteorite that hits Egypt back when the original curse happens. Exactly.
So that's what you think. That nth metal, that asteroid that hit Egypt, which gave Carter and Kendra their powers, was actually made of the nth metal that came from Thanagar.
And so then they could bring that back into relation. And then, of course, the curious thing would be, would they also then have the power to communicate with those aliens because they kind of like have this mutation on them?
My second thing, sorry, what were you about to say, Tat?
I mean, to answer that, I don't think they know it yet.
Right,
they don't.
of course.
Yeah,
but like if the alien invasion comes and like all that stuff.
I think they'll soon figure that out.
So do we think season 2 is going to be now space travel and alien interaction and extraordinary beings?
That would be super cool.
All about the aliens.
Yes, and that would give us way more sci-fi references, more Star Wars, Star Trek,
and many sci-fi references.
So it'll be so much cooler with aliens.
So good.
That's what you want? You want aliens?
Yeah, I do.
You want aliens?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Fun fact about me is I love alien stories, like
Right.
Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. I've seen them all.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Fun fact about Tatiana. She's a
So-
huge alien fan. We got any other alien fans out there right now? I mean, I'm
more Predator fan myself.
I feel you. I like that one. I like that one. Right. Like I said, the Time Masters, 2175 was apparently when the Thanagarians are going to attack, but obviously with now the Oculus being destroyed, Vandal Savage's plans have pretty much gone to shit.
Right.
And unfortunately, well, fortunately for us, the Time Masters can no longer help him. So how do we feel now Vandal Savage is going to move forward?
Well, I think we should address that, though, first, is that the whole reason that
Also, who's the new
Time Masters have been
Master guy?
setting them up
Yeah.
was because Vandal is going to be the one that is uniting everyone
The
to
world.
stand up to this threat that's coming.
Do you think that's the
whoa.
Time Masters actually paying attention and actually being right, or do you think they're being played by Savage?
I think they're being played by Savage.
I think it could be both.
For sure, he's definitely being
I
played.
think he's
because-
outsmarted them in the timeline. He's been
Yeah.
able to like go and
Well,
manipulate
right.
it so
I think the Time Masters were going to use him as for their good, or thinking of the good of the people.
The
Well,
Time
there's
Masters
no
needed
good.
someone.
Right, needed
and
someone to
Savage
be, yeah.
made pretty much
The vessel.
manipulated them to choose him.
Exactly. But then I
Because he
think
has, like,
Savage is
has
going
no
to figure out
soul.
his own way. Like he's conniving little dude.
But
here's the thing.
I know. So Tatiana's been showing some love to Savage lately. So Tatiana, show Savage some love right now. I'm sure there's
So-
people out there who agree with you.
So the reason why I'm kind of like migrated over to Team Savage here is because he's experienced love and loss. He's experienced children and then they've been gone. He's been alive for a very, very long time.
very long
So
time.
he's experienced humanity rise and fall and rise and fall and rise and fall. So he's seen their stupidity and he's also seen their triumphs, which I'm sure, in his opinion, have been little to none. So
And they've been belittled by all of their failures and everything like that
yes,
as well.
and so I actually think he's just over it all. I think he's over it all, and he's like, you know what, humans, you all don't deserve any of this life, so screw it all. I'm just gonna take it away
And then we're
and
going to
fix it
rebuild.
all.
It's almost
I'll go
Damien
devil's advocate
Darkest
on
for
that, though.
Arrow as well.
Because if the devil's advocate side is Savage, well, we don't know.
Are you saying you're
like,
Team Savage? You're just Devil's Advocate, so you're really Team Savage with me? Is that what you're saying?
going to the dark side. No, but like, so you know, when the curse happens in ancient Egypt, we don't know like how much time has gone by since then, since the Earth has been created, in at least in this universe that we've created with DC. That being said, we've seen him be the forefront of all these power struggles in the world. So the human victories, I feel, are what he makes of it. Like he's the one that's been propelling the world, so to speak.
Well, but then you say that it's actually the Time Masters who have been the one that's propelling the world.
Ah, man.
See?
Ah!
I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
you almost want to fancy Savage to win it a little bit. It's like, I'm kind of rooting for you right now.
Right.
It's true because we have to remember the whole reason why Rip did everything was because of his family.
But
at what cost? At the cost of everybody else's family, of everybody else's loved ones. Like, he didn't care about anybody else's, so he's all out for Savage, all out for Savage.
The Time Masters gave Rip a point. They were like, we've killed your family, so that this is the point that you're going for. You've got Savage, who's the madman, and so they were just manipulating Rip this whole time.
And Savage is not
Can
the
you be
guy.
more Team Rip now? Now that you know that Rip was only doing, like, he got kind of coaxed into doing
See, that's why I'm going more Team Rip.
Coasted into doing this? I'm Team Rip
Yeah.
because it's brilliant.
I mean, I'm not Team Rip. I'm sorry. I haven't been. I was that one episode where it, like, said everything that happened with his family and, like, you got to see his backstory.
Right.
I was like,
that, yeah.
Team Rip. And then he just went right back on to being this selfish prude, so.
Speaking of team, let's look at the boss team right here. What a great photo we have right now. Look at the badasses
silhouettes.
right now.
So great.
It's one of the greatest photos probably of the season so far.
Yes.
Right, wrapping up with Vandal Savage and the Time Masters just for now, and let's actually talk about the development of the team from episode 1 to now episode 15, the episode before the finale of season 1. Obviously in the beginning we saw a lot of difficulties between the teams. We saw people pinning each other against each other. We saw almost little cliques between the team. Even though there's only 9 of them, it seemed like they were in their own little cliques, the people that knew each other. Obviously Jackson Stein, and then we had Snart and Rory, of course. So who's been your biggest development as a character so far? That's what I want to know now. From episode, I believe we asked this between us in the beginning as well. Who's been your biggest development so far?
For me, I think it's probably Snart and Rory.
Oh, really?
Because Rory he was like, whose team am I on? I've always been on my own kind of thing. And that's just how he's been. But him and Snart have both become more and more like teamwork.
Let's start becoming Kronos real quick as well. Let's show, obviously, because this was a big part for Rory. I agree with you. Rory's definitely taken a big part. So as we see, Rory became Kronos, but he actually managed to divert it. And then obviously we get to see him talking to Ray later. Right. And what does he say to Ray?
What is it? He said, I started to care for the team, but don't tell me when I'm going to shave your head.
I'm going to shave your head. Why shave his head?
Because everybody knows he feels. He has feelings. Everybody knows it.
So my next question now to you then is, how about when Rip saves Ray? Because obviously we have that photo as well, is where when Rip saw, when he looked into the Oculus, he was like, he sees Ray die. And obviously at that moment when he turns around and sees him take his mask off, take his hands off, he's like, shit, I need to stop him, otherwise he's about to die.
It took him forever to get out.
Exactly. I
was like, just say you're gonna die! Like, I was like, it was making me crazy.
But does that not give you a little bit of an impetus to say, like, yeah, Rip's developed. Rip
okay,
really
I will give you that Rip has developed. Okay, he has developed, and that right there. But look, it took him the entire season. After he already knew he couldn't save his family, and now he's at this point where he still can't save his family, and now there is no timeline, so he can't see into the future, and it took all this time for him to finally be a team player.
Well, I say go Rip. I say yes, Rip. You made that choice. You finally did it.
I was glad that he actually he did tell Ray hey don't do that. It did take him a long time today, Junior. It took him a long time.
Oh my God.
But at least he did was warn him and said, hey, this is about to happen. And then it was funny to see how many people got knocked out.
But he was only doing that
stopped.
because he felt bad about doing that with Jax. And so I think he was trying to
Okay, so favorite character development is going to be Snart and Rory?
I think so, yeah, for me.
Rory.
Yeah, Rory.
Yeah, Rory.
So I'm going to put Sara, Snart and Rory as my favorite as well. Guys, we obviously want to know what you think. Use the hashtag
Lotus.
Yeah, Lotus. Let us know who has been your best character development so far. Real quick, one of my favorites has got to be Ray. He spent so long trying to work out what it was that he was there for. He couldn't be the physicist or the genius because Stein had already taken his role. Right. He wasn't the badass because that was Rory. He wasn't the thief because, again, that was Snart. He couldn't be the assassin. It was Sara, who was Ray. And he finally worked out in this episode that all he wanted to do was do something good.
Meaningful.
He wanted to do something meaningful, to make the world a better place, to do something that would make the world better. And he had his opportunity to in this. Snart. Well, who saved him first? Rory knocked him out first and saved him, and then
Yeah.
Rory knocks him out, and then Snart gets into it.
Yeah.
Which was.
Hit me with your best shot. That's
Which
what
is
I
It's like
wanted.
everybody was trying to jump.
Yeah, it was like, no, I want to save the day.
Yeah.
No, I want to save the
Yeah.
day. No, I want to save the
Yeah.
day. Guys, who would you have wanted to save the day? Do you think Snart being the one that we're going to start talking to, I just have to gather myself before we start talking about Snart. Do you think Snart should have been the one to do it? Do you think it should have been Rory? Do you think it should have been Ray? I honestly do think it should have been Ray, because I think that really would have given, like, that would have completed Ray's character for
Yeah,
me.
I
And
think
that is
so.
why I'm a little upset that it didn't finish with Ray being the one to obviously destroy the Oculus.
You're upset Ray didn't die, is what you're saying.
I'm upset that Snart did. I'm upset
Or
that
at least die and then
Snart.
come back or
Kinda,
something.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. I thought
just-
like when when it was finally gonna blow up, that actually someone was gonna fall down into kind of like that time stream, and somehow they'd get lost in the vanishing point, and then maybe get
And then maybe
picked back
season
up,
2
and
would-
And
yeah,
that,
and
that
later
exactly.
on.
would have
Like
been
they'd
a
be
really
lost
cool
in their own
way
time.
to go.
that would have been a cool
But-
way.
That
Well,
I mean,
Rip almost
technically
did
it
fall
still
into it,
could
didn't he?
happen
Right.
somehow.
With
we
Snart.
just don't know it. Yeah.
Snart could have dropped down into it. You don't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we have.
Maybe
Please
he
say
knew
he's
that.
alive.
Maybe
He
people are
knew.
saying on the YouTube chat that that's one of the possibilities, is that he's really not dead, that he could have fallen into
Right.
it.
Well, Snart's a very clever sod, and so I surely hope that's the thing. And we're going to have a quick. Before we have our moment of silence, let's just. Okay, no, let's just have our moment real quick. We've created a couple little slides just to say thank you for joining us on this 15-episode journey in the DC Legends of Tomorrow. Nick, show us Snart. You just want to play the world's saddest song and the world's smallest violin.
Well, it's fine.
Just
He was the greatest
the
thief.
moment.
He stole a kiss from the canary.
as we're about to see right now, Mr. Stevenson Johns. Thank you very
Right
much.
there.
What a way to end it. Let's have a round of applause for Snart. Thank you very much. Tatiana, clap for
am-
Snart.
I
Clap
am
for Snart.
clapping.
Clap for Snart. Guys, Snart's gone, man.
I know, it's-
Do you think he's gone or do you not? You've been saying that a lot of people on the YouTube chat are saying that it's possibly a no, and they think that they just fell
Season
in.
2.
They
I
think
feel like
season
that
2
was
is
a
gonna come
long
back.
way to fall.
Right.
Yeah, but okay.
And where do you fall into?
But here's that's my question.
Please
Where
prove
do
me
you
wrong.
fall
Trust me,
into?
I want nothing more
Or
than
like
Snart to
when
be
you
alive.
fall, do you see time happen before you? Because you know when Rip reached his hand into
could
it,
see
he
everything.
could
Right,
see
right.
everything. So if you're falling in it, are you just kind of caught in your own mind?
Whilst you
seeing
say that,
everything?
did anyone catch anything in when he stuck his hand in that was flickering through? Obviously, we've seen this happen in Flash when Barry runs through
Right,
time.
through time,
He sees
yeah.
like John Wesley's ship and the Legion's ring and Supergirl, etc. When Rip put his hand into the Oculus, did anybody manage to notice anything that we haven't seen so far in the 15 episodes that we have? If you did notice, you know where to take a screenshot and you know where to send it. Use the hashtag.
Boom.
Boom. Lotus. I
Nice.
love it. Works every time. Nick, you're getting really good at that, buddy. I'm not going to lie. And one thing I do want to ask, what does Snart's death now mean for the team? If he doesn't come back next episode, how does it move the team forward? Because this is going to take a toll on Sara.
Yeah.
Now we see, yeah.
It took her some time to finally kind of like really. I mean, I think that yes, they had a connection back when they were on the ship, and that was when they had to go outside and freeze it.
They had a good moment this
They had a
episode.
really good moment, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. But I think that the rogues, Rory and Sara, they're all going to kind of fuse together, and I think they're going to become a better core. They're going to
Yeah.
understand that we're meant to live for each other, and I think. Snart will either come back next season, or maybe this is how they're writing him off, at least for now, because Prison Break is coming back.
Yeah.
But does that mean they're going to have to do the same with Dominic
Purcell
Purcell in the next
Exactly.
episode? Does that mean the finale Dominic Purcell's going to have to go or get lost in
hope not.
time or sacrifice himself?
Or leave because he's like, I only
Can't.
lived for Snart kind of thing.
No, but now
Like
he's
the
in it
bromance.
though, because what we saw last, he was in it to kill. Now he's in it to kill Vandal.
Oh, yeah,
Savage.
because
that's
that's
true,
what
yeah,
he
He's
wants to
being
do
a
now.
complete.
That's true.
team
Well, and then
player
the
now.
But
question
again,
would be
he
if he
could
kills Vandal,
sacrifice
then
himself
that-
for Vandal,
then he just-
etc. Or
then
yeah,
go
if they
off.
kill Vandal, they can move forward. So guys, please feel free to let us know. How do you think Snart's death really is going to help the team move forward? Who's it going to affect the most? Who's it going to damage the most? And pretty much Snart almost kept the team together.
He did.
Like,
I
at
really
times,
liked it.
like
witty
his little
banter.
lines, his witty banter.
And the fact that like Sarah, that got me when Sarah
kissed him.
Sarah
kissed him.
I know.
Because
And
she,
I was
said,
like-
she said you have to be a great thief
Thief
in
to
order to
steal
steal
a
a
kiss
kiss
from
from
me.
me.
so good. And I was
then
like,
she gives
oh.
it to him, and I was like,
Because he stole her heart with his, heroic act.
yeah, and he didn't want to be known as
Fantastic.
a hero. And that's what Ray says.
He didn't want to
Yeah.
be
But,
known.
and then
yeah.
Sarah's like, well, that's what he is.
Sarah's seen the most action this entire season.
Ain't that a truth? She's been doing, girl. She's been doing, guys.
like all
Sarah's
over the
killing
place.
us so
Ding, ding,
far.
ding, ding.
Right, before we throw it to a quick break, let's do one little thing. What does Savage have in mind with Kendra and Carter? Is he just good? Is he trying to kill them for good? to take them to London first in 2166 so that they could go witness him killing Jonas and Miranda. Savage.
Right.
That was savage.
That was, yeah.
But like, you know what I'm saying? That was a little too much for me. It's
It was
like,
kinda-
they
Yeah.
didn't need to know. And what? Savage, you didn't need to go kill him, okay? But what do we
Well, I
think
thought
his
he was going to
plans
try to
are?
win Kendra's heart.
That's
somehow.
what I
But
keep
then when he
thinking.
said Carter was down
Carter's in-
below the depths, I was like,
I think he's still gonna try to win Kendra's heart.
By
but
killing
like,
Carter.
but now
He's
it's
still
like a goal for him, like to be able to do it as Carter's there, like
Yeah.
have him watch
do it
the
in front of
downfall.
I think he wants
I
to.
stole your girl, bro.
I think
like,
he wants to go
boom.
to a specific point in time. I don't know what that would be, but at a specific point in time, kill Carter and keep Kendra and try to win her back. Because let's not forget that he actually still really does
You
love
have way
her.
too much of a soft spot for this guy. I can't deal with you.
If he's going back in time, then it would only make sense that he go back to Egypt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if,
Back to the
then-
beginning.
Yeah, back to the
So
beginning.
instead of killing both of them, if he kills Carter and then keeps Kendra and tries to win her back in some way, I don't know, or holds her
But
hostage.
then she never becomes Hawk Girl. The
So,
meteorites
yeah.
never hit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
super excited for what we're gonna get for season 2. Because, like I said, are they
So
just
many
gonna cut? Is
open-ended-
time travel gonna go on into season 2, or are they gonna?
And
completely
Supergirl's on
change it up?
CW now, so
And
we could
Supergirl's
have
on
another
CW.
crossovers.
Well, a lot of people
Totally
saying
could be.
Martian Manhunter coming into it because obviously
Yeah.
we've got David. Is it David Harewood who plays Martian Manhunter? I believe it is. Is also in The Night Manager, which everybody has to watch. It's Loki and House playing together. It's incredible. Guys, we're gonna have a couple little Twitter. We're going to have some Twitter shout-outs when we get back. We have a couple questions from you guys. Rory's got a cool announcement about this awesome apparel that we guys are wearing, so don't go anywhere. Go for a wee, have a cup of tea. I'm only going to get to say that 2 more times until we get the break. This one, and then 1 more time after this. Guys, we'll see you in a bit.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live. In case you missed it live. Oh my God. Figure that out.
High five.
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like,
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
Look at me, I'm dancing.
he was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is quite something.
And we're like, inseparable.
These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal.
You just went to a totally different direction on that one.
I love it. That's genius.
Billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
This might actually be a thing.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
Are we there yet? Can we talk about this?
We've been waiting all night.
I don't know. I don't like to break nails.
You can't count anything out. It's been another awesome night at the stream.tv,
always
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for joining us, you guys.
Hey guys, hope you had your wee and your cup of tea, and it's an absolute pleasure to be back here with you all. Like I said, there's only, well, the next 5 minutes of this episode, of this after show, and then next week's after show, and then we are done for the summer until episode 2, till season 2 comes back. Guys, like I said before we went to that quick break, we are all wearing this lovely attire. Should we do a quick one shot on each of us? That's mine. The Archers Academy, you're going to see this on the hour after show like crazy. We've got the flash drive,
right here.
possibly the best one on the right far, except you, Tatiana,
I'm sorry.
because in case you guys can't notice, there's a JH in a love heart. In case you
Can you
guys
do
don't
that? Can
know,
you do that?
my initials are JH.
Yeah,
She got
that's
that
why.
subliminally because she's in love with me.
That's
It's okay. We all know.
Jordan, I'm sorry. Jack is my one and only. I'm sorry, Jordan.
We want to thank
Rory,
T Fury
yeah.
for that. I got to meet those guys at Free Comic Book Day in Culver City at the Comic Bug, and they were kind enough to allow us to have 2 shirts, one for each of our episodes because we only have 2 episodes left. So we want to thank T Fury. Go check out their designs. Here's their DC Comics. Check them out. They got great shirts. And
Wait,
thank
have you
guys.
got a link that you can tweet out after this?
Yeah, and I'll tweet it out, but I think it's tfury.com.
T Fury, F-U-R-Y.
T-E-E Fury.com.
There you go, guys.
Boom.
Feel free to go check them out. They've got a bunch of awesome clothes on there. They're massively affordable as well, which is the best part about it. Yeah.
We're your geekdom proud.
T Fury, thank you very much. I can't wait to wear my The Dude shirt from The Big Lebowski. That's totally going to be on next week. And then what's your... Well, actually, no, let's keep them ones for a surprise for next week as well. Rory, before I take you over to Twitter, we're just going to throw up the fan art once more, just so I can have one more shout out to Stephen St. John's and Mr. Leonard Snart. Oh, I'm probably not going to sleep very well tonight. But guys, obviously, you know where you can join us. And thank you, Lance, for setting up the Facebook group. Nick, let's pop up that group. The DC Legends of Tomorrow discussing the TV show. Guys, I believe this has actually hit 10,000 members now. You know what I'm like with these photos. I'm always a couple weeks behind. But like I said, that's everywhere you need to go for all fan art. You guys can talk about... They create topics, whether it's not, what's Savage using Hawk Girl for? Did Snart actually die? They all create a bunch of little topics throughout them groups where you guys can go and talk casting, rumours, news, all different kinds of stuff. So again, Lance and all the admin crew that run that, you guys are stars. And of course, thank you very much for setting up our after show group where we get to pull from you guys. It's the DC Legends of Tomorrow after show Legends family. Why? Because we are family of legends, you guys are legendaries, and that's just the way it works. Guys, we get to pull cosplays, we get to pull questions, we get to pull fan art, anything that you guys post up in that group, we then get to use it on the show for your viewing pleasure. So thank you very much for all of yous, and like I said, make sure to go and join them. Rory?
Yes, sir.
Let's throw it over to Twitter.
All right, right here to Twitter. Here
You ready for this?
Real Michael Chow. Could the current team just be one of many teams Rip had formed to stop Savage had failed?
Whoa, good
But
question.
had failed.
That
I
is
know.
a
As I was reading, I was like,
fantastic
whoa.
question.
That's a deep
Real
one.
Michael Chow, I said this a couple episodes ago. You need to be like a question master or something. You're very good at your
That is a
questions. So,
fantastic-
Rory,
Really?
give us that one once more, please, buddy.
So it says, could the current team just be one of many teams Rip
Has tried
formed
to assemble.
to stop Savage but had failed?
Got it.
So
Interesting.
That's,
So
I
what do you
never
guys
even
think?
thought of that because he said
would
he's
make
gone
sense.
back.
He's gone
so
through
many
time, and
times.
you are the only 8 that
And
can do
how
it.
do Jonah Hex and him? I mean, there's
Know
more
each
to-
other.
No, yeah, there's more to that story than meets the eye. So
He just got
It's true, yeah.
maybe that was one of the people he recruited.
And just had failed. That'd
That's
be
a
You
really
stumped
interesting
him,
to see.
Michael.
Question.
Michael
Whoa.
Chow, you stumped us. This is a great
Yeah.
question. Guys, feel free to let us know what you think as well. Surely the Legends of Tomorrow aren't the only crew that Rip's tried to assemble before, because he's been trying to stop Vandal Savage ever since he can remember.
Right.
And surely he's been going backwards in time, like you say. Jonah Hex, we had Cinnamon.
yeah.
Gotta love Cinnamon. Well, no, does Cinnamon still have her powers? Is she still Hawk Girl?
No, I mean, I think she could,
think
but she
she-
doesn't want to.
She doesn't. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
she's left that life.
She's like a
I think
hermit.
she's
She
left
just kind of
that life.
I never
decided
did think
to,
about that.
She's like the
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker. just sitting on her own little island. and
Wars,
being like,
everything.
She's hanging out.
Idaho.
Star Wars-
Star-
Idaho.
Iowa.
No,
Iowa.
Idaho.
Not Idaho.
Idaho.
Sorry.
Just clarify
It's the
that
house bunny, innit?
right there.
You know, Idaho.
These guys.
Rory, Real Michael Chow, thank you very much for your question, brother. And like I said, guys, how do you tweet in your questions? You use the hashtag
Lotus.
Rory, second question, brother.
All right. So the second question here is from Bethany4240. Rest in peace, Leonard Snart. You were my favorite character on the CW Legends, which is pretty much a death sentence. And we couldn't say it more. It's so true. We miss him.
He better come back.
He
I'm
will.
so pissed. Maybe he had to film the pilot of season
Right.
5's Prison Break, so
Prison Break,
that's
yeah.
why he had to go a day earlier, or
Hopefully.
he had to go a week earlier than Dominic.
But it
Just
wasn't
trying
good.
to do
I mean,
whatever happens.
let's
to keep him
be
back.
honest though. Like to have like a risky point like that and actually do that, and it's not the finale. That adds so much more of like what's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Because
I
you've
could
got to
agree.
finish strong. So we've seen one death. What's gonna happen in the next episode?
Well, death in the comic book world is not really.
He's never,
true.
never,
It's true. It's never.
never.
So-
Legends never die.
Legends never die.
Legends
I don't know
never
what that voice
die. That's beautiful. I like that. We should get that tattooed on. No, I'm just kidding.
Tattoo.
Get out a t-shirt.
Tattoo.
Legends
Get on a
never
t-shirt.
die.
Legends
There
never
we go.
die.
There we go.
That's a great. If anyone knows how to get them made, or if anybody wants to get them made and send it in to us,
That'd be awesome.
We'll wear them.
you know what to do.
Yes.
Guys, before we end it, there is one little thing that we almost forgot today. Favorite line?
Oh.
How could we?
We're like-
Guys, you know,
I was like,
please, I love this part of it because the writers really are the people that make this show come alive as well. Not only the writers, but the special effects guys, the actors, of course, the cast, the crew. Everybody deserves a huge shout out. But the writing just takes the cake sometimes. So, Mr. Rory, have you got your favorite
I've
line?
got my favorite line.
Okay, Tatiana, give us your favorite line.
It's from Mick, and he said, "For a time master, you sure waste a lot of it." I love
I'm
it.
telling you, Rory always does the best one-liners. So whoever's writing Rory's lines, Doing a great job
Brilliant.
so
Yeah.
far.
Brilliant.
Rory,
So
you got
good.
yours?
I do. I think I already kind of said both of them, but
That's fine.
If you tell the team that I actually care, I'll shave your head. That was
I can't
Rory
tell
to
you how
pull.
much I was cracking up.
He just says it so nonchalantly, like.
That was my
gonna
backup
do it.
line.
I'm gonna
That
do
was
it.
my backup
was your
favourite if one of you
backup.
guys had used it. My one had to be was, well, I thought how screwed you really were without me. Yeah, all right, Rory, because the team were definitely going downhill without you, brother.
Wait, so we all have Rory?
We always have
Yeah,
Rory.
yeah.
I think every time since we
Yeah.
started this, my favourite line's been from Rory anyway. Like I
Rory's
said,
a
Rory's
badass. What
killing
can I
it
say?
so
He's
far.
amazing.
And I think the only person that can come up close next to him is then Snart, and possibly
Yeah.
Ray, just because of his Boy Scout stuff.
Right.
Guys, like I said, please feel free to send us your favourite line. We love to know what you think. And like I said, through other questions that we've posed throughout this after show, which characters had your most development? And it's just so many questions that are going to get answered in episode 16, the finale. Next week, guys, join Tatiana, Rory, and myself. Thank you, as always, for joining us at the DC Legends of Tomorrow after show. Let's give a couple. Good shout, good shout. I'm not going to say no, I'm sorry. I know you're about to pull us away, and I apologise, but let's give the YouTube some love real quick. I apologise. Thank you for reminding me, Tatiana.
Okay, so Mickey Fox said, what if Snart comes back as a metahuman?
Nah.
Everyone was like silent. Everyone was like, no. All right,
I love you,
fine.
Martin, but nah, can't happen. Sorry, buddy.
right.
Snart's not coming back as a meta.
Shadow Phoenix, hey, how's it going? What if Snart is free falling through time, and if he focuses on a specific event, do you think he'll be able to go to it?
What if Barry gets him?
Oh.
Oh, that would be so
What a
Barry
way to
travels
integrate
through the
the
Speed
Flash.
Force, but the Speed Force. Now, the Speed Force is like everything and nothing that's the same time, right? So he could go into the time, and then maybe he's trapped in like.
I like what you said, though. Like, maybe he gets lost in time. He felt,
Yeah.
Who was that? Phoenix?
Who said
You've
he-
lost it now, haven't you? That's the problem with the YouTube chat. Just give...
Shadow Phoenix said if he focuses on a specific time.
He could end up there.
And Martin Savish said, what if it causes him to lose his mind a little? Like him getting dropped through there.
Because the vanishing point.
Because it's,
Because it's the vanishing
Right.
point, is it?
So what
Same
if
thing
he
with what happened to
loses
Rory.
to Rory, yeah.
Guys, like I said, there's so many questions that you guys always have to ask us, so thank you very much. I wish we could answer them, and I wish you guys could be on here answering them with us as well. It's just so many questions, so many answers that we don't yet know. But like I said, next week is the season finale, guys. What have you thought about the season so far? Do you think there's been an episode too many? What's been your favourite part about it? Is it the effects? Is it the writing? Is it the action? Is it the fight scenes? There's so much that's gone into creating this season so far, guys. Thank you for joining us the whole way through it as well. Like I said, we have one more week. Una más.
What?
One more, guys. For Tatiana, Rory, myself, everybody here at the
What are we gonna
stream.tv.
do?
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Legends never die.
Legends never die.
Therefore, we won't die.
Yes.